Hi, welcome to Corporate and Creative. I'm Lacey. So I decided to go on a nature walk today. I feel so lucky because where I live across the street is a lake, and it's absolutely beautiful. I've lived in my apartment for 2 years now, and my first year I barely came out here. My second year I'm really trying to be more mindful and walk more and get out more, and so it is such a beautiful day today, so I said, you know what, let's go on a little nature walk. So here we are, and I thought I'd bring you along with me. So here's a couple of updates. Yesterday was the last day of school for my kids, so they are officially on summer break. It was fun. It was a half day, and I think half the school didn't show up, but there was a fair amount of students that came on the last day of school, so that was fun. And then this past Thursday was 8th grade graduation. I'm an 8th grade school counselor, and so I was a part of the celebration for the kids for graduation. So it was sad. It's kind of bittersweet. Oh my gosh. There is this really pretty bird. I'll have to show you. Oh my goodness. It's coming over here. Oh wait, I have to show you. Hold on. This area has a lot of amazing wildlife. Wow. See if I can get any closer. Hold on. In my last vlog, I rambled a lot, and hopefully if you watched my last vlog, it made a little bit of sense. So at the beginning of my last vlog, I talked about how I'm thinking about just kind of slowly transitioning from being a school counselor to freelance types of work. So being like a video editor or doing voiceover work, I have every intention on doing that. Earlier in that week, I ordered a candle making kit because I want to try out new hobbies. And I want to see if I can find a hobby, or I wanted to see if I could find a hobby and then maybe turn that into something kind of sustainable. Or my intention is to do freelance work. I want to bring you along with that. But at first, I really want to make it very clear. So there is a direction. I'm going to start a candle company, and I want to document that experience, and I want to sell a product. I just need to focus because I have a lot of ideas. So moving forward, Corporate and Creative is going to be my journey starting and building a candle company. And then, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so let's continue on with this nature walk. wanted to talk about what I've experienced so far with candle making. I've had some experiences, some troubling kind of experiences, so I wanted to share that with you. Let's talk about fragrance. I did not realize that fragrance was toxic to pets. Like I said, I am new at candle making. I have zero experience making candles. I have zero experience using fragrances. There's apparently 2 types of fragrances. There's fragrance oil and then there's essential oils. So I went to Michael's is a wonderful place to kind of explore different crafts, and they have a lot of variety of tools, and particularly in the candle section they have a lot of fragrances and fragrance oils. I purchased 3 altogether. I purchased like 4 different fragrances. So they have fragrance that comes in a 4-pack, and then they have fragrances that are a little bit bigger than, or a little bit smaller than this, that come in a single pack, and I use them in my candles, and I wanted my candles at the time to be very fragrant, so I used a lot of the oils. So my first batch, which I made for Mother's Day, that didn't hardly have any fragrance in it, and I used lavender. And so because it wasn't as fragrant as I wanted it to be, my second and third batch, I literally just I put a lot of fragrance. And I'm in an apartment. I have a 2-bedroom apartment. I usually keep my door open. I have ventilation, but I didn't have a fan on. I don't have an air purifier or filter or anything, or a purifier or anything like that. So anyway, I was making my batches of candles and just leaving everything out. Well, the other day, my little Otis, he just turned a year, he just turned 13 months, and he became sick. I think he became ill with the fragrance. He was not himself, and I really thought he was having seizures. It was the most terrifying and scary experience I think I've ever had with a pet. So he just sneezed. Let me see if I can get him. This is Otis. This is my little Otis. It was on a Sunday, and it was a regular day. I think it was in the afternoon, and he started sneezing, and he started uncontrollably sneezing. The fragrance, it lingers, it's in the air or whatever. The next day I was at home, and I watched him, and I noticed that he was doing this twitching with his face. I noticed that he was kind of staring off into space. He would stare off, and then he'd do this twitch, and then he'd have to sneeze out of the twitch. And I was like, hold on here. He was just this cat never really sneezes. He doesn't do any type of twitching. He is a healthy cat. It scared me to the point it was okay, I'm taking you to the vet. And so I took him to the vet, and the vet was like, do you have fragrances around? What's your ventilation like? It looks like this is neurological. We'll give him prednisone. I'm going to text you in 7 days. Let's see what happens. So I was the only thing that really has changed in my apartment is bringing in this fragrance from Michael. I went and did research, and I found out, and I learned that these fragrances are really toxic to pets. And I had no idea. Now, there are fragrances and essential oils that are extremely toxic to pets, and then there are fragrance oils and essential oils that are less toxic to pets, but it's all toxic, which is really scary. It really has me thinking. It's what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? So I decided, I could get an air purifier. I can open up all of my windows. I can use a small amount of fragrance. I don't have to use 4.5 ounces of fragrance. I can use a much smaller batch. I can move all of my stuff out and go and find a storage location or a co-working location and move all my stuff out there and create candles in a different location. So yeah, I have a lot to think about. I think this is really important. If you are if candle making is your hobby, if you're new to candle making, if you're interested in candle making and you have pets, I would definitely consider doing a lot of research before you start bringing in these toxic chemicals into your house, into your home, into your place where you live and you live with your pets, because this is serious. Here's what I'm considering. I'm considering my apartment complex rents out storage units, and so I want to inquire with my apartment complex if I can rent out a storage unit and then make my candles there. I think that could be the best option. So I have to see. But yeah, this was like a very eye-opening experience, and it definitely has me thinking twice about like, is this what I really want to do? And it is, like, I really want to do this, but I have to do it safely. So I did something very exciting this morning, and I want to show you all. So let's go. I have a storage unit. I am renting a storage unit in my apartment. Yes. Oh my God, the candles that I can make it here, I'm so excited. But I think it's worth it because this is a huge space. It's air conditioned. I can put my candle stuff in here. I can move 2 tables in here. I'm so Oh my God. All right, so let's do some candle math. So I have water here in my beaker. Let's do some chemistry. I have my vessel here. I have my notebook here. I have my scale here, right? And then I have my computer here. So I'm gonna open my computer. I have all my new products. Oh, excuse me, this is experiment number 7 that I am working on. Okay, so like I said, here is my vessel. I'm gonna weigh my vessel. Let's weigh this. So here's my vessel. I'm gonna pour water in here. Let's do, okay, ounces. So I kind of want, let's see, how many is that, 9.8? My thought is I want 2 layers. So like this is my first layer and then I want to add a second layer. So I'm fine with that layer being there. Okay, so layer number 1, so without this cap, or the top, is 9.7 OZ. 9.8. Sometimes, okay, let's just go with 9.8. All right, so I have my computer here and I did some calculations. So I want each of my vessels to hold 9.8 ounces of water because this is my first layer. And then I'm gonna add a second layer, but I want all of my vessels to be the same. So 9.8 OZ, 9.8 ounces times 5 equals 49. So what I've learned is every time you use a different fragrance, you have to calculate your candle bath, because every fragrance weighs differently or something. Like it's different. So there are some differences within the fragrances. So you have to do candle math. So pretty much why you do candle math is so you don't underuse or you don't produce too less or too much wax. So pretty much you produce the exact amount of wax that you need at that time. And then you can, once you figure out your vessels and your candle math, you can calculate all of that into when you're selling your product. So it's always, so this is a good thing to do now and to figure this out now. But in the future, I'm going to have different vessels. So, but I'm trying to learn, and these are prototypes. All right, so I confirmed my wax weight. So my vessel is currently holding 9.8 ounces. So 9.8 ounces, here we go, times 5 is 49 ounces of wax. So 49 ounces of wax divided by 16 equals 3.06 pounds of wax. Okay, so then for my fragrance says use 1 ounce of fragrance per 1 pound of candle wax. So, okay, 3.06 pounds times 1 ounce equals 3.06 pounds. So 3.06 ounce times 28.35 equals 86.79 grams of fragrance oil. Okay, so here we go. So for my wax, I need 49 ounces of wax, 1,390 grams of wax. And then for my fragrance oil, I need 3.06 ounces or 86.8 grams of fragrance oil. And okay, so we're gonna try that, see how it goes. Okay, so I have all of my supplies, and hopefully you can hear me okay. So I'm gonna use this vessel or this pouring pitcher today. And then I have my scale here, and like I said, I'm making enough wax, or I'm going to melt enough wax to pour into 5 of these. So I did my candle math calculation, 1,390 grams or 49 ounces of wax. So I'm going to tear this, put this on here. Actually, now I'm going to tear it. Okay. Okay, so now we have 0. Add the wax. Okay, welcome to my storage unit. I've moved my candles from my apartment into here, and so I'm going to fill these candle vessels I'm going to fill the wax into these 5 candle vessels. So I'm going to bring you closer, and then we're going to calculate the fragrance. So here is the fragrance. I'm using oatmeal, milk, and honey. It smells pretty nice. I don't think it's exactly what I was saying it's not exactly what I was going for, but it's okay. So
Okay, so we need 89.6 ounce, 86, right? 80. You could tell I don't know how to work this scale. This is a packing scale. So while we're here, I am going to add these little stickers onto my crackling wood wicks. This is my first time using this product. So I'm probably doing this all incorrectly, but you know what? It's trial and error. I have any scissors with me, so just put a hole in it. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have my fragrance here. And this is my first time doing like a huge batch, like not huge, this is not huge, but a larger batch than one. So I don't know, I'm just learning as I go. So I think what I'm gonna do is put this through here, right? And then that like that, right? So you can see what I'm doing. Stick that down in here like so, and then put it, and then I'm gonna put the sticker on here, and then put it in there so it sticks. Slide that in there. Slide that in there. Okay. And then take this and stick this to the back here like that. Then take this off. Stick it down in there. Okay. It probably doesn't need this sticker, but you know what? I have them, might as well use them.